Hey everyone! Alright, so here's our next tutorial, and yeah, it's kind of a hybrid of a bunch of things because I pulled inspiration from different areas. The main one, of course, being a geisha. A lot of people wanted a geisha tutorial, but I didn't want to do just a regular run-of-the-mill geisha that everyone else does, so I wanted to switch it up. So I also pulled inspiration from kabuki theater. I'm sure you can tell where that comes in the look. Then I also pulled inspiration from one of Dior's runway shows. Pat McGrath did like a kabuki geisha hybrid type of look, so that's also worked into here. And then the last place I pulled inspiration from is actually the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They pretty much do their makeup like this all the time. They're amazing, they're awesome, love them. So yeah, those are pretty much all the places that I pulled inspiration from. So this look could go many different ways for your Halloween costume, from a geisha to a kabuki to one of the sisters to a clown to a mime. Anything you want to make it into. So I hope this ends up being helpful, and let's just go right ahead and get the tutorial started. So step one I actually did off camera, and that's because I already have a video on how to do it, and that's to actually cover your eyebrows. So make sure you check over in the sidebar because there will be a video to show you how you can do that. And then step two I did off camera as well, which is the skin, only because, again, it's very simple. I don't really have to show you how to do that. And all I did was I just took a white full coverage foundation. This one is from Mac Pro, but any like white grease paint or any kind of Halloween cream makeup or anything like that you can get at like Spirit or any other Halloween store will work just as fine. And then I actually apply that with a sponge, only because white can tend to show streaks, and it's one of the hardest colors to get an even coverage all over your skin. So using a sponge, you can actually just dab it all over your skin to get better coverage without it being streaky. Then to set it, I just went in, I used Porcelain Set Power, again from Mac Pro. Did I say power? Powder. This just has a soft white tint to it, but any translucent invisible setting powder will work, and I applied that with a powder puff as opposed to a brush. You could use a brush, just do the same thing and dab it on because you don't want to move any of the white. So now that I have all that on, I'm actually going to go in with this aqua color. This is just white from Kryolan, and I'm going to use that on my eye. Now the reason I'm using that instead of the white cream makeup is this is water activated, and if I use it with something water resistant, it won't crease, so that way I don't have to worry about my eye shadow getting all messed up. So I'm just going to throw this all over my eyelid, and then we'll move on. So what I'm doing is, I already started on this side, but I'm just taking a lighter color pink. This is Sushi Flower from MAC. And then I'm just taking a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to start to etch out the shape that I want everything to have. I'm doing it with the lighter color so I can build the intensity, and then that way if I make any kind of mistake, this will be a little bit easier to fix than if I started using the dark color right away. So I'm just going to go in and place this where I'm going to want all my colors to go. Now that the pink's on, I'm going in with this color, which is just a very, very bright fuchsia. You can see I already started on that side. But I'm going in with that same brush, and then I'm just going to pick up a little bit of it. And then I'm just going to go in and do the same thing, but I'm just going to amp up all the pink and get the shape more how I want it. For the cheek area, I want a really nice defined line. You can see I already started one. I couldn't find my business cards or anything, so I just took a pack of gum. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use that edge, and then you're going to place it where you want it. I'm going to make sure that I'm even. Then you can just go in with that fluffy brush again, and then just right along the edge of that, place your color, and you can see you get that nice solid line. Now I'm just going to go in and start blending this into everything else like I have it on the other side. Now that I have all that on, I'm going in with this color, which is just a darker purple, but it has like a red shimmer to it. This is Ultra Mauve pigment, but you can use any kind of purple. You can use a bright purple whatever. And then I'm just going to go in and add some more depth. So I have that on how I want it. Now I'm just going to do the same thing on the cheek, but I'm going to start right here back in my hairline and connect it to the wing that the purple has. Then once I have that, I'm just going to do a little bit right at the bottom, and then I'm going to blend it up so it's really thin, and then it just gets thicker. Alright, I skipped ahead. I actually wiped off the color on my lid because I got some smudges on there, so I'm going to fix that later. But now I'm going to do something a little different. I'm doing that little yellow line that's underneath there, so I'm just going to use my UV orange Kryolan. And then I'm not putting it exactly in the center, it's a little off center. And then I'm just going in and pressing that right on my lower lid. Then I'm just going to go in with this orange color number 4 from Makeup Forever, and I'm just taking a flat brush and then I'm going to press it right on top. Now that I have the orange on, I just went in and added pink under there as well. Now I'm just going to go in with a black cream liner, and then I'm just going to do my wing and then do the lower liner, all that stuff. Now that I have all of that done, you can see everything's lined. I haven't lined the top yet, only because I'm going to put false lashes on, so go ahead and do that if you need to. Do it on the top, bottom, wherever you're going to put them. Now I have the lashes on the top and bottom. I just used like random red cherry lashes on the top, I don't remember the number, and then just like sugar lashes on the bottom. Now I'm going to go in and add the brows. I'm using that same cream liner that I was using earlier, and then I'm just going to draw them on at a nice steep angle. Now that I have the brows on, I'm going to start on my lips. Now most people do the typical little red dot, anything like that. I'm not going to do that, of course, because I'm pulling inspiration from tons of different places and tweak this a lot. So I'm just going to use that brush I used earlier that has the the orange Kryolan UV color on it, and then I'm going to draw out my lip shape. Now that I have just like a rough outline of the lips on, I use the orange because it's not as dark, so if I made a mistake, it'd be easier to wipe off. I'm going to go in with a bright pink lipstick, and I'm just going to apply that. Now that I have the pink on, you can see that I left some orange around the edges. I'm just going to go in with a dark plum colored lip liner, and then just do a line around everything, but I still want some of that orange to peek through. Then I just went in and blended a little bit on the liner so it's not just a harsh line. Then the last thing that I did was put a gloss on, and then I glued 2 little rhinestones on each side on the orange part, and that's it. So that completes this look. So I hope it's helpful to some of you, and until my next video, I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.